Right, tier list.
Let's move on.
All right, so we're doing attackers. Hopefully you can see it all on screen. Just attackers only. So let's go through them. Where do we want to put Venusaur? Now I feel like Venusaur in this meta is at the very least A tier, in my opinion.
I would say A tier.
What do you think, guys?
I'd say B, to be honest.
Oh, you would say B. Just to
I don't know. I just don't think it's. I'll put it to you this way: like, there's several attackers on there I wouldn't want to face compared to a Venusaur. Actually, quite a lot of them.
Nah,
I don't know. I don't know what. Like the Petal Dance build's completely outclassed by Armarouge. The Solar Beam build, it's solid, but there's Inteleon in the game. There's Mew in the game. There's even Espeon with Side Shot that's got a lower cooldown. There's Desi in the game if you want that secure. There's Chandelure as well. Nah.
Out of those ones you've just said, Venusaur tops them, except Inteleon for range, mate. With the
got a good ult, but I don't know. That's about it for me.
Fantastic ult. Giga Drain is, with its passive as well, is when you get to those later levels, it's incredibly hard to 1v1 a Venusaur.
Put it A for now, but I feel like that A tier is going to get crowded very quickly.
I mean, my main thinking is that range mons are quite good in this game, and Venusaur is one of the best. The only thing that betters a ranged Venusaur is Inteleon. If you can hit your shots, in my opinion, it's better than Mew's. But Mew's Solar Beam is not as good as Venusaur's.
But then Mew's got all the added utility, being able to switch Surf, being able to switch to Electro Ball.
Yeah. But that's a different reason why that mon would be good. Yeah. Mewtwo Y. Now, this for me, I'm like, there is everything that Mewtwo Y does is done better by other attackers.
Until it megas.
That's it. The Mega is the only thing that really gives it an edge, but I don't think it gives it that much of an edge. It's not.
I would put it ahead of all of the other ADC types in the game, just because it gets online a lot quicker. Like, it's good from level 1.
Yeah.
But I just don't think the ADC is that good right now. I think that's probably a B option.
I was thinking B.
Very low B as well. Because it just doesn't get picked either. Like, we had it last week where all the EXs were playable, and every single EX was either like banned or picked, and I think Mewtwo Y was the only one that was kind of left out.
Yeah. Apparently we've lost Robo's camera.
Yeah, we've just lost Robo into the void.
Yeah, sorry, I had a you there.
It's all right, mate.
Timmy came and got him.
Man's being kidnapped. Cramorant. I feel like Cramorant is a very strong attacker in this meta right now. I kind of want to put it all the way up into S, mate, because of how good it is.
All right, I wouldn't go that far. Come on, calm it. I would put it ahead of Venusaur though, for sure.
Okay.
Which is why I'm like, why have we put Venu in A?
I will fully defend Venusaur.
No, I put Cram in my A tier, right? I love Cram.
Okay. For me, his Unite move is just so good, but both movesets is also really good. But I concede. We'll put him in A, just because I know there's some attackers coming up that really deserve that S spot out of all of them. So, yeah, valid. Cinderace.
Cinderace, S.
Now, let's not be biased in our opinion here. Whereas I know Robo is.
I'm not going to say D because there's other attackers that it is at least better than, so I'll say C, but it is literally the bottom of that C tier. Like I said, the ADCs right now is weak. A good Cinderace player obviously elevates it, but I think on the whole, if you're playing solo queue, there's a couple of mons at the last mons you want to see him at. Obviously taking the lane, always in the last pick slot, and Cinderace is one of them.
I'd say C. He's good at what he does, but what he does isn't necessarily
good.
Well, better than like attackers bring.
Yeah, he's not good until late game for a start. Like, the attack speed doesn't really come into it until the late game. So, I'm with you. I feel.
Well, he has to play mid, doesn't he? And his gank's just weak. he takes, like you said, so long to get online. He has to be Cinderace. It's level 9 for his ult.
Yeah.
You compare it to like Mewtwo that can gank at level 5 and have a massive impact.
Is my camera still off? That's weird.
Says
I'm enjoying
something.
with you. It's a lot better.
I can try and refresh it, bro.
Oh, it's not the end of the world.
That's Y tier. Bouncy saying Y tier. What Y tier?
It's far down, and she can put it other than Z.
Yeah, that's fine. Z tier, D tier. Pikachu. We're not even gonna have a discussion about that. We'll just move it into S now. All right. Like, I don't think there's much that needs to be said about Pikachu right now. Chat. It is banned in every possible game. It can be in most tournaments. You know, it's played like when it is played, it can be ridiculous. Both movesets, by the way, and its Unite move change was fantastic. So, S tier. A9.
I love A9.
I think it's
really like its kit, but
it's nice. Don't you?
So,
no, it's too squishy. There's no mobility.
yeah.
Obviously, it's Blizzard and Avalanche is huge, but
That's it.
no, it's like a 6-second cooldown as well. I don't know.
It can do a lot of damage if you kite enough with that one moveset. I don't see anyone running Dazzling Gleam because Auroraville, sorry, because I just don't think it just doesn't work for it right now because of how squishy it is, mate, and it really doesn't have any maneuverability. Chaos is 100% right with that, buddy. I just think its Unite move is so lackluster as well. Like,
I think A9 needs a rework, to be perfectly honest. Maybe we could put a rework category because I'd honestly have them rework it into a support.
See,
in terms of it reduce its damage, give it some CC, have Auroraville be a fully defensive move like it is in the games, rather than just being like a machine gun.
Even CC, it is CC.
Well, that's it, mate. I want it to be a CC attacker because that's the only build on A9 that works. That's what I'm with you. I would like a rework, maybe not to a support, but at least an attacker that, we have these supports that are heavy on CC and don't really do any healing or anything like that. I wouldn't mind seeing that into like that attacker role, like not an ADC, not dropping mega damage, but that works with it. So I'm with you. I love A9. Its Unite is lackluster. That one moveset though can be fantastic in a game and really important with the dives that are coming in from all rounders and speedsters. So for me, I don't think it could be lower than B just because of that.
Put it C, to be perfectly honest. Just ahead of Cinderace, but it just needs a lot to happen to make it usable. Like, it needs your tank to be literally on point the entire game and pocketing you. You just need to rely on your opponents not diving while your cooldowns are down as well. I don't know, it just needs too much to be effective. Compared to like Pikachu, for example. They can literally just CC at will and run around and kite. Nah, it's weak.
What are you thinking, Robo?
I still stick with A. I still think A9 is a god in team fight. The ult is underwhelming. The cooldown's probably a little bit too long, but yeah, I'm
gonna go between you both, and I'm gonna go B.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree, B.
Yeah. I think we'll go for the balance. I'm with Chaos. I genuinely, for me, it's that one CC move set because it is such good CC that puts it into the B. But the rest of it, yeah, I'm kind of with Chaos on that one. But we'll put it in B chat. We'll move on to Gardevoir.
It's just a solid B, isn't it? It's got, again, it's situational, a bit like A9, but you play it mid. It's got a decent gank. It's got really good burst damage for ults. Doesn't do as much damage as you'd expect, and it's got that bit of a delay, but if you catch people in it, it's game changing, isn't it? But again, it's just not as strong out of the box as the others. So yeah, it's a nice middle of the road attacker.
Yeah, it's kind of like a B plus. I'm with you, mate. And the thing is, the Unite move doesn't do enough.
It's not better than A9, I don't think.
No, well, it's got a better Unite move. Easy.
For me, it just takes too long it can take too long to really become a threat.
I don't know. Its level 5 gank is decent, mate. It's like Psyshock is a really good move on Gardevoir.
It's a good poke. It's definitely a B. I don't think it's lower than B. I don't know. There is. I'm going to say the same for Gardevoir as what I'm going to say for Chandelure. There's just something about the Pokemon I don't like. It just feels a bit too slow, and
oh well, let's not get started on Chandelure, mate. We'll have a discussion about that later on. All right. We'll move Guardian to B. I concede the point with you, Bill. For me, its Unite move is fantastic, and you can get an entire team in it, but it doesn't.
Nah, you're fucking capping. You've got your cap on. You're capping.
It doesn't do enough damage.
You complain so much about that Unite move to put it in A. Get out of there.
I wouldn't put it in A. The only reason I would put it in A is because I think it does a lot of damage.
Are you saying you concede then? It's B. We've also B.
Because I wasn't going to put it in A because of the Unite move. That's the thing that makes me believe it should be in B, bro. All right, so Greninja.
Same as Cinderace. It'll have its day one day, but it's a C tier Pokemon. I'd actually argue it's better than Cinderace.
Yeah,
it is better than Cinderace.
But it's not B. It's not good enough to be a B tier Pokemon.
I think it's better than Mewtwo-I, to be honest.
I think I'm with Top Gun if that's relating to Greninja, like being B but randoms on D. The thing is,
randoms. Let's not get into randoms. A random tier list would be down in Z.
Oh my god, yeah, we would. But genuinely, the thing is that Greninja has that majority, in fact, probably all of those B-Mons on C-Mons don't have is the resets. And
hey, you'll have an idiot like me playing Greninja in ladder with like fucking goal getter and score shield and just memeing with it. Or you'll have someone like Redmeister or KP playing it who are absolutely cracked and hitting their resets and carrying games. Like, yeah, for me, I think it's better than Cinderace. Marginally better than Mewtwo-I as well.
I agree. And its Unite move is really good for team fights as well as secure.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you pair that with Surf, you can wipe out entire teams with Greninja. And I think because of that, it definitely needs to be higher than Mewtwo-I. It needs to be higher than Cinderace. Like, I don't know.
It needs to be higher than A9 and Cardi as well, so we have to put it in an A.
This is it. It does way better than these three. Definitely does better than Cinderace. That what you can do on that Mon, I think, fits it into A, especially paired well with that Unite move, in my opinion.
It just doesn't feel right seeing Greninja in it. Put it in B. Put it in B. Put it around the top of B. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right.
You are going to force me to make. You're going to force me to make a B plus. C Surf S Water Shuriken. I mean, Water Shuriken got a good buff. I mean, okay. I don't know. I really want to leave it in A. We'll put it in the top of B, but I genuinely believe it should be in A. All right, Delphox. I think another S tier, right? Surely, Unite move still ridiculously broken. Probably one of the best Unite moves in the game. Fire Spin, 2-second cooldown, level 13, as well as being able to kite if you do decide to go for the flame charge. I don't think you can.
No, it's good. It's not S tier, man.
It is.
It's A tier, but think about like Pikachu, and you've got Miraidon coming up. You've got Armarouge coming up.
Armarouge is only good on one moveset, man. I don't know, mate. I think Delphox...
Well, I mean, the Delphox, if we watched Worlds, how many Delphox did we see? Was it a priority pick? Was it a ban? Even in the weeklies you do, how often is it picked and banned?
It gets picked quite a bit.
It's got good usage, for sure. Like, it's got
especially in this
good points, the anti-heal, etc. I won't put S tier. I don't think it's broken. It's definitely got its flaws. It's got a really weak laning phase. It's got a really weak jungle phase, wherever you put it. It needs level 7 to get online.
Well, the thing is, I think we need to be cautious that, like, I don't think S tier means it's broken. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I don't think it's the best mage in the game, though. I don't think it's much better than Cram.
You can't compare everything to Pikachu as well. As if it's not as good as Pikachu, therefore it isn't an S tier. I think it's an S tier Pokemon. I think in team format it's fantastic.
I think Delphox is easily better than Cramorant. I agree with you that I think Pikachu is a better pick. But the thing is, you can't... With Delphox, it has one of the best Unite moves in the game, as well as the fact that Fire Spin is a 2-second cooldown, mate. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. In a defender meta
in a defender all-rounder meta, crazy CC.
Worth its weight in gold.
Yeah, I do agree with you though. I do concede the point that it does take a while to get to. You have to become Delphox for it to become viable, and that can take a while. People love taking it in the lane, and it fucking annoys me. But yeah, people do take it in the lane. It can take a little while to get going, but the good players do manage to get it going quite easily. But I just think it gives it so much into like mid to late game.
I guess fair, because I'm looking at the other mons now, and I'm seeing a couple that are going to go into A tier, and I wouldn't put them on par with the Fox. So
yeah,
because the thing is as well, it's not like it needs to get to late game like a Cinder race needs to get to late.
Yeah,
game. It's like well before that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you typically get in there about like if you're not there at the 7 mark, it'll be like the 6 minute mark that you get to that Delphox moves, which is great. It's a mid to late game mon. So yeah, I think I feel very comfortable putting it in S tier. I know you do, Robo, and Chaos has come to our side, so we'll move it into S tier. But Espeon, buddy. Now, Chaos, obviously, you play a lot of Espeon, or at least you have done previously. I've played a lot of Espeon. I still feel like it's good. It does worry me as the weakest evolution at the moment, but not weak in a sense.
Disagree. I think it's better than for one that it's literally sat next to right now. No, SP's creeping back up for me. I won't put it in S tier. I'd leave it in A.
Yeah, I think that's
especially
right.
alongside Cram or Venu, but it's just good with either build and any sort of it's a bit like Pikachu. It's good with any combination of moves, right?
Yeah.
Like you can play Side Shot, Side Beam, you can play Side Shot, Future Sight, you can play Store Power, Future Sight, Store Power, Side Beam. Like it's good on anything. Its ult's incredible.
Yeah,
I think it's super underrated at the moment.
I would agree. I don't think Glaceon's as underrated as.
I mean, you can literally have. I mean, we can say this for all the EVs, but you can literally have an Espeon out the gate.
Yes.
Within the first minute and going into lane with Psyshock, securing farm, being an absolute nightmare. Yeah.
Crazy good early. I agree
with
you,
no secret that the EVs are always going to be strong.
Yeah.
Like in this tier, they would rarely creep to B. And even if they did, they wouldn't be there long.
I don't think any of them, and I know we're moving on to Glaceon now, buddy, and I know you might have your opinion on it. I don't think any of the evolutions are lower than A tier.
Yeah, exactly.
Glaceon.
Glaceon's B. It's a B tier, man.
It's not though. It's just not, mate. We are in a defender all-rounder meta. The thing still rips ridiculously well, and it kites so well, and it has a broken passive.
The
weakest thing on Glaceon is its Unite move, which isn't even that bad. I
think Glaceon's better than Espeon, personally.
It's got a substantially weaker early game. It's got a better mid game, and it's got a weaker late game, in my opinion. Like at the Ray fight, what do you want more? Do you want an Espeon or do you want a Glaceon? Keeping in mind the ults, the stuns. Or do you just want pure rip?
See, the thing is, I'm with you, Chaos, in the sense that I still believe Espeon is massively underrated, and it is a very good mon in this meta. But at a Rayquaza, I would rather have the Glaceon. Well, it depends. It depends on what's on the other side, right? It depends what you're coming up against. But if we're coming up against these defenders and these all-rounders that we're so used to, I would want a Glaceon. It still rips. It
depends if you're thinking solo queue or 5-star, because if you're playing 5-star, I don't know, I see much more value out of the Espeon ult than Glaceon being able to rip things. You can literally dive into a team with Espeon's ult and saying, I'm ulting, and then your teammates just pile ults on top of it while everything's immobilized for the couple of seconds.
I think it depends on what you've got in your team as well, mate. Because if we've got ults on the team already that can do that engage, then I'd rather have the Glaceon ripping from the outside. But I also agree that the Psychic Slayer from the Espeon does that really well. This is it though.
I feel like there was a B+ tier. I would slide it into that, but
I just don't.
We already said we weren't going to do that.
I think the level 6 spike on Glaceon is really good. Like I agree with you, it doesn't have as good an early game as the other evolutions, but we can't put it into B because of that. Because arguably it has a better mid game than some of them. It definitely has a better late game than some of them with the rip that it's got. I think once you hit level 6 on Glaceon, you can really start cooking, mate. And boy, in these tournaments that I've been seeing recently with Glaceon, I'm surprised I'm not putting it in S, but I think Glaceon belongs in the A tier.
I agree.
It's 2-1. There you go.
I've spoken.
I have spoken. All right. The thick mon itself, Duraludon.
D. Just move on. Move on.
D for dump truck. Yeah, I mean,
yeah. What else is there to say? It's just not a great Pokemon at the moment.
I actually don't disagree with that, mate.
They nerfed its Rip to Rayquaza, which was the only thing going for it. I mean, it's so quick, obviously, but
it is the only thing.
Nerfed the only thing that was good. Yeah.
I
mean, Duraludon's great if you've picked it and you're playing against a team that doesn't understand that they have to turn up to Rayquaza, because Duraludon just pops its ult and rips Ray in like 10 seconds, if that. But
yeah, I'm with you, mate.
I'd pick any of the other attackers over this man.
Yeah. I mean, Top Gun said it in chat, so, you know, he's the judge. We'll whap it in the D side. Decidueye.
Oh. I'd put down in D as well, to be honest.
Here we go.
I love this Pokemon.
Here we go. Here's Robo's bias opinion. Let's go.
This Pokemon, he rips tanks. He rips multiple tanks. He steals any objective. Okay, his Unite is comically bad. Oh mate, I wholeheartedly think you put him lower than Greninja, then you'd have a problem with me, not the Pokemon.
Oh, Rover's taking it personally, bro.
Take it as personally as you want. It's going in that fucking D tier. It's shit.
Decidueye's got to be a B. It's got to be a B. Decidueye is better than Mewtwo. I think he'd be
with that Mega.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm so.
All right. Look at it this way. With Decidueye, you're only ever really using one moveset. I know people. Spirit Shackle's really the only thing you're going to use on it, mate. It does not do that.
Can I just play it a different way? So, if we think about all its moves and its purposes, if you want a mon in there just to rip an objective, you're gonna pick Duraludon ahead of it, for fuck's sake. You're gonna take Cinderace. You're gonna take Greninja. You might even take Dragapult over it. Like, it's nothing special there. If you want something secure, you've got Venusaur, you've got Inteleon. Like, you're not going to be taking Decidueye over any of these mons. It's got no benefit, and it's all you can just sit in front of its ult and soak it up if you're a tank.
Yeah,
it will do nothing to you.
You don't use his ult. Let's be honest. His ult is trash. I'm not defending his ult. I'm just going to pretend his ult is in the game.
It'd be much more interesting if you did try to defend the ult. I want to hear the argument.
What do you like? What do you like about Decidueye so much, Robo? Other than the character design and all that kind of stuff, what on Decidueye in
You've
Pokemon
taken
Unite?
it fully out of the chamber.
Yeah, what?
What do I like about it?
In Pokemon Unite, like, what is it playing that mon that you're like, yeah, this is why it's good?
I love its snipe. The fact that it has multiple charges, so you're not like sitting on the cooldown as much. So you can chuck down multiple charges. You can chuck down multiple snipes in a game quite quickly, unlike a Venusaur or a Mew. I just love that. And I love its Razor Leaf. I just think it's just a nice tank killer, and it hits multiple things. If you have the right service, and this is the only downside, and I'm not going to defend it for this. You have to babysit it more than you would other Pokemon. If you're going for the Razor Leaf, you have to have something sitting and like Pocket Emu or just sitting in front of you. But I think if you leave a Decidueye, it doesn't just kill one Pokemon quickly; it kills multiple Pokemon.
It also dies itself super fast. Like, it might take a tank down, but it'll be like on 1 HP and something just comes along and finishes it off later.
What I'm hearing is it's Cinderace. Is what I'm hearing from that, mate. Just in regards to the rip, because that is what late game Cinderace does.
Yeah, but he hits more than one Pokemon.
I know. Well, I know Razor Leaf does that. I know. People don't use it though because it's too easy to dive a Decidueye.
The people are wrong.
Okay.
People don't know what they're missing, right?
But you're spot on about diving the Decidueye though. Like, if you try and dive a Gren or you try and dive a Cinderace, they've got things in their kit to get them out. Decidueye has a little thing that blows you away for a step, and it's like, oh, that was inconvenient. Anyway, that's what I was doing.
It doesn't have to a Speedster or Blaziken.
One's going to give you a 0.5 second stun over, you know. I know the Pokemon has so many downfalls, but I just think it's like
Mate, we all have a Pokemon that we absolutely love, despite the position that it's in. Do you know what I mean? I was
me like that, Tano. Don't
mate.
me like that.
I'm sorry, buddy. I was a firm believer in Gengar all the way, even with the nerfs. Like until obviously the recent buffs have made it broken. But before then, your Decidueye was my Gengar, buddy, and I think in this set it's there with Cinderace. Like
through you, when we do the speeches, I'm gonna absolutely.
You know what? You've argued so passionately about the owl. We'll put it ahead of the Duraludon in the Vegeta.
It's a
How
good
about
job
that?
webcam's not working because I'm heaving right now.
I'm genuinely gonna put it in the C tier, mate, because for what you've explained about it, I genuinely think bye bye Robo, by the way, good sleep. I genuinely think it's very similar to the Cinderace in the sense that like it rips quick, but you have to babysit it too much, mate. In my opinion.
It belongs in C. It 100% belongs in C.
There we go.
I just okay. Let me put it this way, and this applies to Cinderace too, and and Greninja and all ADCs. Not Duraludon, he's stupid. Everyone can agree with that. When they eventually come back and decide to give ADCs a bit of loving, these Pokemon are gonna be ridiculous.
Oh yeah, I agree, mate.
Like they're gonna be so because the thing with Cinderace, like Cinderace kit, it's a one target thing. You just, unless you can hit like fantastic Poryballs and the enemy teams don't have to bunch up, you're always gonna be killing one Pokemon. The Decidueye will hit the entire team. Like
I know, but the thing is with Cinderace's rip, mate, is it's the fastest in the game. Like you'll be hitting all those mons with Razor Leaf, and like Cinderace will still kill the amount of targets just with how quick it hits.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like when it gets these buffs, like these Pokemon are great. But a Spirit Shackle as well. It's not just Razor Leaf for you, it's Spirit Shackle.
I mean, Spirit Shackle is what I would use that mon for, but we have Inteleon in the game, so it's one of those, isn't it? And
in fairness, my eyes have just locked onto another attacker, and now I'm thinking about Spirit Shackle, and it would be a bit harsh to play it down in D. But as long as Robo admits that it's trash and not worth using, then yeah.
We're putting it in C, mate. So
I've been traumatized in draft pick, in ranked by our randoms, seeing attacker, support, attacker, all rounder, last pick, Desi. Nah. Yeet this man out of the game. Get it out.
Let him cook.
All right, Inteleon. Where are we putting Inteleon?
B tier. No. I don't know. To be honest, I haven't. He's probably like an A. It's got to be an A, isn't he?
Yeah, I'd say A as well.
Yeah.
Even a bad Inteleon, it hits one snipe shot in a team fight and it changes the game.
Yeah. Basically, like it puts someone down to the fact where they have to either run to the healer or run out of a fight. I mean,
yeah.
And that's just one move. So if you can do that in a team fight, that's what it's
I do think it
throw it snipe shot into a bush at Ray, and if it hits someone, that's it. They have to back. Yeah. We have to waste cooldowns to heal them. Like you said, it's ridiculous.
It also has a really good Unite move.
Mm.
So yeah, I think that's fine. We all agree on that. Solid Sylveon.
I want to say A, but I don't know if it is A.
I think at least high A. The thing is, I think both movesets on Sylveon are... I mean, I don't really like the hyper voice changes, but the slow is really good on it. For me, when it comes to Sylveon, it's the freaking Mystical Fire Draining Kiss, mate. That's so fucking good.
I'm going to base this off where we've put the other attackers.
Yes, sorry.
And we've put Cram in A, we've put Venu in A, we've put Glaceon in A, we've put Delphox in S. For me, I'd put Sylveon in S. You can use all of its moves. The Draining Kiss Mystical Fire build is nuts. Like, you're tanking and dealing 100k damage a game, and you're healing like 50k as well. It's absolutely insane. And the Hyper Voice as well, even if you play the Hyper Voice build, I know they've weakened it, but you're hitting everything.
Yeah,
like you can't miss with Hyper Voice now unless you're blind, and if you're blind, like why are you playing the game?
Yeah, but it also gives crazy slow. Like I'm with you, mate. I think it's S tier because also they reduce the cooldown on the Unite move. So every single thing about Sylveon's kit right now is great.
It's got ridiculous damage. It's got speed increase for yourself, decrease for your opponents. It's got healing. I mean, it's got that get out of jail free card with the ult.
Yeah.
Nah, it's super strong.
I agree with you, mate.
I'd say A, but I don't disagree with S either. It's great. It's a good Pokemon.
Yeah, it is well deserved. One of the evolutions that is well deserving of being in S. Alrighty, Duraludon, Dragapult. I think Dragapult's quite hard to place.
Yeah, because
do you know when I said that I locked onto when we were putting Desi and C, and I kind of agreed because I locked onto a mon that's probably should be in that D tier. It's Dragapult, man. It's got a shit jungle clear. Like it'll get invaded. You can invade it with anything. Like you're taking his buffs from it. Takes too long to get online to the point where you're needing to get knockouts to build up its power from like level 12 onward. No, it's because it takes way too long to get online. It's not even got an ult. It's got a nice little secure from that one click, but no, it's just trash, man.
Because I think if we put Duraludon in D, because of the fact that like you kind of pick it up to rip, I think you do the similar stuff with Dragapult, right? Like,
don't get me wrong, I've seen players like pop out pentakills late in games with Dragapult and carry games, but the amount of stuff is needed in the build up to that, it needs to be like level 14, 15 at Ray. It needs to have already killed like 10 mons in a row or something stupid like that to get to that stage where it can do that. Whereas you've got your other attackers like Cinderace and Desi that can just do that naturally.
Yeah. Well, this is it. Like, I liken Dragapult very similar to Cinderace in a sense that, like, late game it's fantastic rip against other people, but also you're typically only picking it up to do rip. So I'm with you, mate. It's definitely like CD tier. I'm kind of more with you on putting it in the D tier because it does take so much to get it to where you want it.
It's suffering the same thing that all these ADCs are suffering from. I think the reason why you could argue it goes in C tier is because if you do stack its passive up, if all these things do happen, it is a strong Pokemon. Duraludon is never going to be a strong Pokemon for an entire game at the moment. So that's why I think you could put him in C. He's better than Duraludon. He's not as good as obviously Cinderace and Decidueye because they're like S tier, but he's
they're SC tier, right?
This trash tier that we've got on the screen right now. He's DLC. I think you could make arguments for either.
Yeah, I'm gonna put him in D, but in front of the Duraludon.
Yeah,
let's just do that. Now, this is one of, if not the only EX mon that I'm so surprised isn't played more because I think it is still broken. Miraidon. Both its movesets, mate, are crazy, but especially the charge beam is just ridiculous, man. It's so much range.
I know we've not seen it used a lot, but I'd still put it in S. And I think the reason we've not seen it used a lot is people just haven't bothered practicing it. Because it doesn't matter kind of like what skill level your 5-stack is. Whenever you watch someone play 5-stack on Twitch or on YouTube or whatever, when those EXs in ranked, people just never pick them, never practice them. I think as time goes on and people are picking up this mon more, like you said, both his movesets are crazy. But what is it? Is it charge beam that covers an entire lane?
Yeah.
Is so oppressive early. No, I put it down in S, and I think the only reason it's not been played is people haven't quite mastered it yet. But I think that Electro Drift moves that's probably its strongest. It's got the highest skill ceiling.
Yeah, the skill expression on that is crazy, mate. But also, Thunder is like Fire Spin on crack. Do you know what I mean?
It's not as bad as it was, though. Do you remember what it was like when it came out?
Oh, yeah. It's not as bad as it was, mate, but it's still broken.
You know what? The truth is, I've not played against a Miraidon for so long. And the last thing I heard about is that he was nerfed.
Not enough.
Yeah, so you guys obviously know more about this Pokemon than me. I'm quite happily being ignorant to not having to worry about him at the moment.
Yeah, and with Chaos. We're going to put it in S because I know we haven't seen a lot of it. What we have seen of it, though, has been ridiculous. So we're putting it in S. Now we're going to move on to the candles. So Chandelier. Now, I know you've got opinions on this, Robo. You going to throw us them?
Great Pokemon. I just can't play it, therefore I don't like it.
That's valid, mate. And that is valid, and I appreciate the reflection on your abilities.
I always feel like when you see a good Chandelure, it is awful to play against. It's such an oppressive Pokemon to play against. And it will be babysat. It will have it's always going to have a supporter sitting next to it, which just makes it horrible. I hate coming up against them. If they're crap, then they're crap. Then lol, easy kills for a speedster.
Yeah.
But I think he's fine. I think he can be quite oppressive.
For me, it's easy A tier.
100%.
I feel like you could have arguments for higher, but I think it's A tier. Like Imprison is one of the best moves in the game. It does have a skill ceiling to try and hit it, but it is fantastic. It shuts down all of the Metamons at the moment in Prison, so it works so well in a team fight because of that. Flamethrower is fucking insane. A 2-second cooldown if you just hit something is ridiculous, mate, with how much damage it does and AoE, but also Overheat is still really good. The weakest thing on Chandelure, realistically, is probably Poltergeist, but also its Unite move, but its Unite move's still good for Rip. Like, I think it's a solid A tier.
Its Unite is crazy good. Because the blinding it's crazy. I think if we hadn't put Delphox in the S tier, I'd be firmly this one has to go in S tier because that Imprison moveset is so oppressive. The ult, especially around the Ray fight, like we've played with it and against it, where we've just literally whoever's had the Chandelures popped his ult to blind everyone, and then by the time Vision comes back, Ray's been ripped and run off to score. Chandelure for me is crazy good and really underused.
Yeah, see, this is why I was thinking S tier, mate. I think if we look at Delphox, I feel like Chandelure has a very similar sense with Imprison. Just in the fact that, like, we think of the meta that we're currently in, we've got defenders that are crazy, but all rounders that are constantly in your face. Chandelure does really well at stopping those, and its damage is up there. Is probably way up there. It's Pikachu level of damage coming out of your Chandelure. So, and yeah, move. I completely agree with you, mate. That's why I think it should be a little bit higher than A tier.
But we've put too many ones in the A tier, so in the S tier, so we have to.
Right, here's the question. You guys obviously know more about the pro scene than I do. How often do you see Chandelure in, like, is it common pick at the pro scene top tier?
Very common, mate. So right now with this meta, obviously Pikachu's either banned or picked every game. And then typically you either have a Delphox or Chandelure being picked. And it is quite common for both of them. They both play that same role quite well.
Nothing you've told me makes me think they shouldn't be in S tier then. Should
we swap Shandy and Miraidon?
Excuse me.
Maybe because we don't see so much Miraidon at the moment. Maybe. I think Sylveon A, Shandy S in that scenario, you think, Ju?
There's a reason they gave Sylveon the fucking $100 skin and not Miraidon or any of these other mons, because it's broken.
Yeah, I think if we're moving anyone, it's not going to...
They buffed it and kept it, and it's in S tier. And
it's not going to be the Sylveon, mate. I'm with you, mate. I think we move the Miraidon down, maybe. And then I do think the skill expression of Electro Drift is quite high. So I'm with you. I think we move Miraidon down. And then, the thing is, if we've got Delphox in S tier, which I firmly believe belongs there, you have to put Chandelure next to it because they're very similar in that sense.
Yeah. Sounds logical.
So, the final one. We've been on this potty for about an hour and 20. The final one. Podcast. It has, mate. But I've really
still got to do
doing
predictions as well for next week, or this weekend even.
Yeah, I mean, they can be pretty quick. But I genuinely have enjoyed doing this, to be honest. So, yeah, I mean, Armor Rouge. So, I think Fire Spin is so freaking broken on that one. Armor Cannon isn't as strong, but the AoE for it is freaking awesome. Oh my god, we did forget Mew. There we go.
I know you are slacking, man. What other attackers have we missed?
Nah, we definitely haven't missed any more, mate. We're good. Okay, let's do Armor Rouge because we were Let's do Armor Rouge because we were talking about it. Yeah, I don't know. I think it needs nerfing. I think with consideration of it needing nerfing. The thing is, its Unite move is so fucking arse, mate. Like,
give it a couple more weeks, and you won't be saying the Armor Cannon side shot builds weaker or the Unite's weak.
The Unite is weak.
Is not in
It is.
Not in combination with the rest of its kit. It's not.
It is. You just walk out with it, mate. If you could aim the Unite move and move it, yeah, fantastic. Like what it does is great. It's just too easy to walk out with it.
I don't know. I still put Armor Rouge firmly in that ST. I think it is ridiculously strong. Like idiots can play Fire Spin. It can play like Petal Dance Venu and just run into people. But the Armor Cannon side shot build, I've seen players who play mages and play that build, and they're getting so much success out of it. And it's just because no one wants to put the time or effort into learning the skill shot move. They can see Fire Spin and see, oh, I can run into people and just hold down A. So I'm just going to play that, but no, Armor Rouge is ridiculous, both movesets.
I agree. I do think it should be an S tier. Its Unite move is ass, and I think until they change it where you can move it, it'll always be ass. But yeah, I prefer Armor Cannon on Armor Rouge because the AoE is just fucking stupid on it, mate. I have seen Armor Rouge lock in like a bottom Reggie with like 25% health on it. So yeah, I think S tier. I'm with you, mate. What about Mew?
I'm just going to slot it in that B tier, to be honest.
Really?
I think its moves are just weak. Like Solar Beam's just weak compared to the original, which is like obviously they're meant to be weaker moves than the originals, right? But to the extent where they've got such long cooldowns, and I think like if you've got someone who's cracked on you in your team, it's very easily in the A tier, close to the S tier. But if it's just like your standard everyday player, I can see it kind of mid.
I actually think I agree with that. I think, as we see in the chat, people are saying too much utility, best support in the game. So really, it's only good if you're not using it as an attacker.
100%.
Which is, it's fair, I guess. Like, the thing is, coaching, people are using a lot more on it. It is good.
You never have a phrase, Jack of all trades, master of none.
Yes, that's Mew.
Like, yes, you can CC and move people out of the way with Surf, but it's not that strong. Yeah, you can snipe people from distance with Solar Beam, but it's not as strong as like Venusaur or Intel. Yeah, you can hit an Electro Ball, but there's literally a fucking Pikachu that you can just play straight out of the battle level 1. Like, nah, for me, it's kind of mid right now. It needs a bit of love.
I think everything you've just said about it, you know, you take it as like a supporting attack, you bring it, its moves aren't over strong. I think that is like the essence of that Pokemon being exactly where it should be. You know, because there was a time where no way should a Mew Solar Beam out damage a Venusaur, because then why did you bring Venusaur?
Yeah,
you know, this is as strong as a yeah, okay, Mew and Blastoise aren't the same Pokemon, but it had a just as good Surf as your Blastoise. So then why would, you know, it was too good at everything. Now it's like it's perfect. Master, like you said, Jack of all trades, master of none. For that, I would say it's a B teetering on A, because I think it brings the most versatility any Pokemon can bring to the game.
This is the one Mon that I genuinely want to make a B+ tier for.
Yeah.
I get, well, this is it, Gio. I get it is skill gap, because a really good Mew player is so fantastic on that Mon that it makes you think it is broken. So I do see that, but they're so far and few between.
I mean, that's literally what we said, isn't it? If you've got a good Mew player on your team, you think it's you're bordering on S, but it's because everyone playing Mew.
We're ranking the Pokemon as well, not the player using it, I suppose.
Well, yeah, that is worth, you know, considering.
But it's the thing, like, if you... Obviously, it's got great utility and it can switch between Solar Beam for some secure, or it can zone with Surf, but like we said, it's not as good on those moves as the other Mons. And if its Surf was so good, why would you bother taking a tank? Because it can just play as... You can just literally keep Surf on it for the entire game. Keep Light Screen on it and play it like a tank. But you're not going to, because it's just not that strong.
Yeah. I think the nerfs have hurt it quite a bit, mate. You know what? We're going to be done with it, guys. It's going high B tier, and we're leaving it there. Because we've been on this potty for nearly an hour and a half, and this needs to go on YouTube. So, yeah, we're going to leave it there, guys. There's our attacker tier list. I'm quite comfortable with it. I enjoyed that quite a lot, to be honest. I'm excited to do these each week. So, yeah, I'm comfortable with that. I'm happy with that.